Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to this week's episode in the first of what I think is going to be 2 or 3 episodes in a mini-series of stump-based projects. On this first episode, we're going to be focusing on making this side stump table out of what I think is oak wood and some awesome hairpin legs. So stick around for the episode. So these are the 3 stumps that I have. Now the third stump project is going to be a bit of a longer term thing, so for these next 2 vids, I'll just focus on these 2 stumps. For this first project, I started out by removing all the bark from it. The stump had been drying for the better part of a year, so although this took a bit of time, it actually wasn't all that difficult with a chisel and a mallet. Next, it was on to sanding down with a belt sander at 60 grit. And to say this took a bit of time would be a bit of an understatement. And once I had taken off all the bark, I switched over to a 90 grit orbital sander to begin smoothing out, followed by hand sanding at 120 and 220 grit. And here's a comparison of my sanded down stump versus one that had just been debarked. Pretty insane, right? Next up was finishing. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for this, but I had found a cool old website that showed off wood stumps with really simple, shiny, natural finishes that I loved. So for this, I chose to use a semi-gloss polyurethane to bring out the colors and grain. At first I used a wipe-on poly, but quickly switched over to a paint-on semi-gloss that I had laying around. I ended up doing 4 liberal coats of the poly, and I made sure to let it dry thoroughly and sand down with 120 and 220 grit in between each coat. And on my final coat, I sanded all the way up to 420 grit. And this method kept things very smooth. And last up was adding my hairpin legs. Now for this, I'm using 3 10-inch raw steel legs, as my stump was 13 inches tall, and I wanted my overall height to be roughly 23 inches. Here I am marking the center part of my stump, which I advise anyone to do. But because my stump was small enough, I ended up just arranging the 3 legs close together with all 3 pieces touching in the corners, and I used a pen to mark out the points for my screws. I then used a drill bit to pre-drill my holes, and then used number 8 wood screws to attach each leg to the stump. My stumps did not come with the screw hardware, so just be prepared for that. And then I was all set. And as simple as this stump project might have been, I think the thing came out awesome from where it started out. I love the shiny natural finish of the wood. It just looks clean. And that'll do it for this week's episode, guys. If you want any more information about this build, or you want to check out the other projects that I've worked on in the past, you should definitely check out my written article in the description. If this is your first time to the channel, I just want to say welcome, and I would love it if you would subscribe, because I put out videos every other week, and I would love it if you stuck around for them. Thank you so much again for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time on The Cutting Board.